Madagascar, Mozambique and Malawi have been lashed by high winds and torrential rains, leaving nearly 86 people dead. Tropical storm Anna made landfall on Monday in Madagascar before ploughing into Mozambique and then Malawi. Rescue workers and authorities across the three countries are still assessing the full extent of the damage, even as another storm was forming in the Indian Ocean, Cyclone Batsirai. Remnants of the storm have passed over Zimbabwe, but no deaths have been reported there. Joining us to tell us more of what we can expect over the weekend is Viljoen, who is a forecaster at the South African Weather Services. A very good morning, Elizabeth. Thank you so much for your time. Devastation the storm is causing. Can you just give us the latest of where it is and where is it moving to at the moment? And has it been downgraded to a depression?
Yes, so thank you so much, firstly, for having me on your show this morning. So yes, we do still have ex-tropical storm Anna. Currently, this low pressure is situated over southeastern Angola, a lot weaker than what it was when it first made landfall, so that is good news. However, this low pressure is moving quite slowly, so it's staying around those extreme southeastern parts of Angola, maybe even moving into northern Namibia. So with it moving so slowly, it could, and it more than likely would, cause possible flooding in those areas due to it being rain on areas that already have been rained on. So what we like to call it is rain on rain. So it's already been raining and further rain is expected, so therefore we could see some flooding. So mainly southeastern Angola into northern Namibia is really where we're seeing ex-Anna at this stage.
Ex-Anna at this stage is what we'll refer to, Anna. But is there a possibility that it could again become a tropical storm, that there could be a sort of a build-up, especially the longer it takes for it to dissipate?
No, so once it's over land, it really loses a lot of its intensity, and that is due to two things. So firstly, it has friction on the ground, so that's a big problem for these types of systems, so they battle to re-intensify because of that friction. And then secondly, it needs moisture, so moisture from the ocean surface, and moisture also needs to be warm. So warm and moist is what these storms need to re-intensify. So over land now, we're just seeing this low pressure that moves around, lots of rain, but not nearly as intense as what it was when it first made landfall in Madagascar as well as in Mozambique.
It is cyclone season at the moment. The first tropical storm of the season coming very late into the season. Is there something that we can deduce from that? Does that have to do with global warming and the effects of the effects of the climate crisis that we're in at the moment?
That's so difficult to say right now at this stage. So you rightly said it has been a very quiet season. Anna was our first storm. On average, we see about 10 named storms in our basin. So we've had one, our second one now, Batsirai. So we've got two at this stage. The center that really does do all the forecasting for this is based in Reunion Island, and they were saying long-term forecast, we were looking at 10. So the seasonal forecast was showing that we should be on average for the season. Saying that we're below average now, is that linked? It's so difficult to say, because what climate change is telling us about these seasons, these types of systems rather, typically is that, yes, they might get less, but they are expected to be more intense as time moves on. So I think we need to see how the season pans out first, and then we look at a bit more of an average, and then that we can use to establish if this is global warming or climate change, how this is affecting us in our particular basin.
I mean, as you say, the forecast is about 10 for the season. We've only seen one. Could that indicate that we might see a concentration of storms over the next couple of months?
That is also to be decided. I really do hope not, because we see the effects of these types of systems. As I said, we do already have the second one. We're going to keep monitoring it, but we are moving. We're already end of January, so we've only really got February, maybe March. We could still see one or two more of these systems, but it's so difficult. I really do hope we don't have those remaining 8 all in 1 month.
Yeah, no, that would be catastrophic, really. Batsirai over the Indian Ocean for the longest of time. We know that it's moving towards land. What is that looking like at the moment? Are there any warning signals that are already out for it?
Yes, so Batsirai is quite far east in our basin, so very far east, but we're closely monitoring the storm because it does look like it's going to intensify once again to tropical storm level. So it was already tropical cyclone level, and it does look like it will go there to that stage again. So that's a certain intensity in order to be classified as a tropical cyclone. Yesterday's forecast was showing it was heading directly for Mauritius as well as Reunion Island, so over those two islands. Today's update, and that's the problem as such with these types of systems, is they are notorious for difficulty in terms of seeing exactly where their track will be in a few days' time. So currently, it looks like the projections are showing the system moving just north of these two islands. But then once again, we're going to keep track on that because these systems, as I mentioned, they are notorious. It's so difficult to see exactly where they will be in a few days' time. So at this stage, just north of those islands and then moving further westwards could once again reach Madagascar, but there's still a bit of uncertainty there.
We've seen storms lash South Africa as well over, the years. Is there any chance that we might suffer any ripple effects from the tropical storms that are currently in circulation? We saw Eloise in KZN not so long ago, causing devastation there.
Yes, it's just been the 1-year anniversary of Eloise, and that really affected KwaZulu-Natal, Limpopo, as well as Mpumalanga provinces. So the northeastern parts of South Africa were really battered by Eloise. Currently, Anna is quite far, so Anna is very far, but we do have a link, like a conveyor belt as such, of moisture being drawn down from Anna all the way into the southeastern parts of South Africa. At this stage, it doesn't look like, though, that moisture, even though it's resulting in rain, but it seems like this rain isn't really causing a negative impact on the country as yet. So we're just monitoring that to see this rain at this stage in most places is more welcome than anything else. With regards to Batsirai, as I said, Batsirai is far east at this stage, not even reaching Madagascar yet, but we're going to keep monitoring this because oftentimes what these storms do is they'll move over Madagascar and then re-intensify in the channel, and that's actually what Anna did. So Anna moved through Madagascar, went over warm water, so you've got that warm moisture once again, and that surface that is now an ocean, so no friction, and therefore they often re-intensify and reach mainland Africa, whether it is Mozambique or through Mozambique reaching other countries as Anna did, or through southern Mozambique and coming even into South Africa. These systems do that type of track quite frequently.
So at the moment, is there some breathing room, sigh of relief for people within the region, especially suffering from tropical storm or ex-Anna, and how long do you think that will last?
So certain areas, yes, there is definitely a bit of a moment of relief, especially on our East African countries. So Malawi, there's still some rainfall around, but Anna is quite far west now. So Anna is not really impacting Malawi or Mozambique, but we are just going to keep monitoring because we are still definitely in our tropical cyclone season.
Elizabeth Viljoen, thank you so much for your time. She's a forecaster at the South African Weather Service, just giving us the latest on ex-tropical storm Anna and also the tropical cyclone Batsirai that's currently over the Indian Ocean, monitoring that very, very closely.